welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a tutorial on this green and gold look that I am wearing. To be honest, I wasn't exactly 100% sure when I first started, but I actually do like how it turned out, and I actually do like this color combination. I used the Dream palette. It is the Sigma Beauty Bird collab. It looks like this right here. You can get a lot of colorful looks with this, as well as there's some really nice neutral shades in here. A transition shade, you get a bone shade, and there's a couple different highlighting shades in here as well. And you get a dual-ended brush with this palette. I did get this on Neiman Marcus. I've had this for probably, I don't know, well over a month. I don't know. I've had it for a while. Anyway, that is what I did today. And I also got some new stuff, as I always do. And I'm going to show those at the end of the video because it takes too long to go through 13 new palettes. So, yeah. So if you guys want to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. And please subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And don't forget to hit the notification bell right next to it so you'll be notified of all of my future uploads. And without further ado, let's just get right into it. Alright, so I'm using the Dream palette. It's the Sigma collab, and it looks like this right here. Lots of great looks that you can get with this. And it comes with a dual-ended brush. And I did have like 13 new palettes that I wanted to show you guys. But yeah, as I started to show them, it was literally taking like 10 minutes to get through like all 13 palettes. So I'm just going to put a picture of everything that I got like at the end. So I'm going to take this shade right here called Boo Boo. It is a light brown caramel shade, and I'm going to use this to draw my fake crease. Those of you that follow me on Instagram know that I'm planning to do an eye lift. I don't know when, but I'm getting tired of this hooded eye situation that I got going on here. So, and as you get older, the hood just gets worse. Sorry, but it does. All right, so looking straight ahead, I'm going to go ahead and map it out. I'm just going to put a little line right on top of that encroaching hood. And that is encroaching on my lid space. And both of my eyes are not exactly even, so I'm going to put this right on top of that skin fold. And then I'm going to lean back, raise my brows, and you'll be able to see. I'm using a Sigma EO6 winged liner brush to do this. I've already drawn one. Sometimes it really helps when you're applying the shadows to kind of lean back and kind of raise your brows, because that kind of stretches the skin if you're like me and have like old wrinkly skin. I mean, it is what it is, right? And it's a nightmare. You can also like stretch and kind of pull a little bit. You don't want to pull too much, stretch too much, because then things are just going to look kind of wonky when you like relax your brows. But you can look back and you can like lift it up just a little bit, just enough to kind of smooth the skin, and that sort of helps as well. So I'm going to go ahead and draw this one. This eye is always easier, and I'm just following the natural contour of my eye shape, the natural crease, except that I'm taking this about I want to say like 2 millimeters above the natural one, but I'm following the shape. So once they're both done, it's going to kind of look like this. And I'm just going to make sure that they're both even. I might deepen this up actually a little bit with a darker shade. And this one, I always kind of have to stretch out the skin a little bit. This one I'm pretty much good to go with. These eyes are not the exact same. All right, so, and I kind of do it in a little half moon shape, sort of try to get the exact shape that my natural, all right, even if you don't have it exactly even, you can always go in and kind of clean up that line, which is what I'm going to do. When you're just looking straight ahead, relaxed, normal, you want to be able to see that fake crease that you drew, and it should sit about 2 to 3 millimeters above your natural crease. So it is, and I don't know that it's 100% even because both of my eyes are not the same. So I'm just taking a bone shade, and I'm just using this Kevyn Aucoin dual-ended concealer brush, and I'm just going to go in, and I'm just going to kind of go around the edges just because I'm anal and I want to kind of keep that line kind of as smooth as I can. This one's a little bit smoother, the other one's a little wonky. And you can just kind of clean it up. You can also kind of clean up your lid space. Now I've already primed my eyes. I used MAC's Paint Pot in Soft Ochre, and I already set that primer, but I'm going to go ahead and add in just a little bit more so I can kind of clean up some lid space. I'm also going to use this brow bone shade here and just kind of get a little bit kind of down here so my transition shade has something to kind of blend into. Kind of bring it down. I'm really bad about forgetting my brow bone shade, so I'm trying to get... Seems like I have like a ton of things to do before I get to the first transition shade. All right, so the first shade I'm going to use is Carmelito. I cannot pronounce Spanish, so I hope I said that right. I'm taking this on a Wayne Goss number 17, and I'm going to use this mirror because that palette's just too big to hold up. I'm going to just kind of lay it down where I want it, and then I'm going to blend it out using the brush that the palette came with. All right, so I just laid the color down pretty much on top of that fake crease that I drew, and now I'm just kind of going right into the eye socket, and I'm just kind of blending this out, doing back and forth motions. And now I'm going to switch to, and by the way, this is the Wayne Goss. This is a small tapered blending brush, and I really like these because if you have hooded eyes or small eyes, you can really get into the socket and work. And now I'm going to take the brush that it came with. So it's an E38 on one side, which is a smaller blending brush. It's a little smaller than the E40. So if you have smaller eyes, it's good. So I'm just going to use circular motions and just kind of blend. I personally like to lay down the color with a tapered blending brush and then go in and blend it out. I find for me, because I have small eyes and because I have hooded eyes, if I just go in with color and I just start blending right away, it just kind of gets all over the place and it doesn't really stay where I want it. So that is why I do it the way that I do. It is what it is, guys. It is what it is. All right, so now using the brush that it came with, I'm going to pick up a little bit of Frenchie. It's kind of a cream color ivory bone shade, and I'm just going to use this as a blending tool shade, and I'm just going to graze over the edges of the transition shade that I put in just to kind of smooth out the edges and kind of make it more airbrushed. I'm getting a nice wash of color here with this kind of yellowy mustard shade, and that is what I want. I can still kind of see the fake crease that I drew, but I'm going to go ahead and kind of deepen up that shade. I'm going to use a combination of this shade and this shade because I don't want it to get too deep, and I'm just going to kind of go over that line that I drew so that I have a little bit of an outline for where I want to place my deeper shades. That's why I also like to draw the fake crease, because it really kind of provides an outline. So now I'm going to go ahead and take that same Wayne Goss number 17 brush, and I'm going to start bringing some browns into the look, and I'm going to go into Boo Boo right here. And on this one, I'm not going to take this as high as I did the transition shade. I'm just going to place this pretty much right on the fake crease that I drew, and I'm going to kind of follow the natural shape of my natural crease. Just going to lay down the color first, and I'm going to tilt my head back a little bit so that I can see. Probably going to switch to a different mirror so you guys can see, and I'm just going to kind of carve this out here. I want to kind of follow along the natural shape here of my eye socket. And I don't want to take it too far in because don't want to be looking too weird. I'm going to just kind of take it in kind of so it's right in there. Don't want it to go too wide. And then I'm going to go back to the blending brush and I'm just going to blend that out. All right, so now I'm going to map out my lid space. I'm taking this Clio Amore. It's a yellow shade from the ColourPop Bretman Rock palette. And this is the other end of the dual-ended brush. So it's an E38 on this side and it's an E58, which is a cream color brush on the other. And I'm going to map this out in yellow. Yes, yellow. I'm going to just map this out so that I have a nice, clean, round lid space. I'm going to take this down here. I'm going to sweep this color out here and define it right in here. I'm going to take this MAC 239 brush and I'm going to go into 8 to 5. It's this really kind of a deep forest green. And I'm going to just place this on my outer V. So I'm gonna pack this on here, just on the outer part of the lid. I'm gonna take it up to where my natural crease is. I'm gonna just get this really packed on there. And I'm going to start to bring it in just a little bit. I'm going to get a different blending brush to blend this out. But I'm just going to kind of lay it down where I'm going to want to blend it first. I'm going to lay it down. Now I'm going to take this Sigma E36. It's just a really tiny blending brush, which is really good for hooded eyes and smaller eyes. And I'm going to just kind of smooth it out. I don't want this to go all over the place, so I'm blending it kind of downward, as opposed to blending it up and out. And I'm going to start to kind of drag a little bit of it into the crease, just a tiny bit. All right, so I'm going to deepen it up, I think, just a little bit more. I'm going back to this MAC 239 brush again, and I'm going to pack it on the outer edge. And then I'm going to kind of stamp it into this eye socket right here. And I'm just gonna kind of move it along this little, so it's just kind of touching the curve, if you will, of my eyeball socket. So I don't want it kind of like right in there. I'm just kind of, this 239 really kind of fits right into that socket. I'm telling you, like, I need to remember to get better at doing it right as I do my upper lash line. Just go ahead right then and there and take it all the way down to the lower lash line. All right, so I spritzed this with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus, and I'm going to go into Maya, this little shimmery foil shade here, and I'm going to place this on the outer part of the lid. So I'm going to put this where I put the dark green, just to give it a little bit of shimmer and to kind of lighten it up a little bit. I cleaned off my brush, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of this gold shade. I think this is Conchita. I'm not sure. I can't pronounce any of these names here, but that's okay. And I'm going to just take this right over that gold. Over the yellow. And I'm going to take this right to the inner corner. And I'm going to grab, so take that right in there. I'm going to take a little bit of that green so that I can kind of wiggle back and forth so that they kind of blend into each other. All right, I don't really want to mess anything up here and do any more blending and putting in any more shades because I don't want it any deeper and I don't want it any darker. So I'm just going to take this is the Too Faced bronzer in Chocolate Soleil. And you guys know that I like to put a little bronzer in my upper crease as a transition shade. So I'm going to take just a little bit of this and I'm just going to blend just to make sure that everything is harmonious. Because I don't really want to add any more yellow. I don't want to add any more orange. I don't want to add any more brown. And I don't want to add any more green. So I'm just going to use this as a blending tool shade, my final blending tool shade. All right, I'm going to take this. This is the Studio Pro number 8. I love this blending brush from BH Cosmetics. And I'm going to go back into this Boo Boo shade. And I'm just going to run this along the lower lash line now. Kind of smooth everything out. These small blending brushes are really good if you have hooded eyes or if you have small eyes. Like this is like literally like the perfect brush. It just literally like fits right into my eye socket, and I just love this blending brush. I feel like I love this. I like how this looks, but I want just like a tiny little bit more of pop of color. I'm going to dip into my BH Cosmetics. This is the Aurora Lights. And I'm going to take a little bit of this shade right here, this Magnetic, and a little bit of this Australia shade. I don't know. It's a risky move. It may fly. It may flop. I don't know. But I want just like a tiny, oh yeah, I just want like a little bit more like, wow. Like a little bit more, oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is why I have all of these baked palettes. I literally have like every baked palette they have. And I have it for this reason. So that if I have an all matte or if my shimmers are not exactly where popping like I want them, I will just grab one of these BH Cosmetics baked eyeshadow palettes and just stick it on there. All right. All right, I feel like I'm good to go now. Woohoo! Woohoo! Wow. Let's just go for it. I'm going to put a tiny bit of this in the center. Ooh. Ah. Boom. And boom. That's it. That's it. The eye look is complete. And for my setting spray, I'm using the Morphe setting spray. It's a fine mist. It is like, oh my gosh, like I use this literally on almost every single tutorial. Oh my God, it smells amazing. Oh my God. All right, that's it, you guys. That completes the eye look. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you're new, don't forget and subscribe and hit the notification bell. I love you guys. Mwah. I will see you in my next one. Bye.